Hi, everyone. Welcome to Your Disabled Joy. My name is Nico and I use he, him pronouns. For a visual description, I'm a white man with parted blonde hair, large blue and brown spectacles, and today I'm wearing a short sleeve button up shirt with dinosaurs on it, with an overall light color palette. I'm seated in front of a purple wall and some bookcases. And like about 20% of the global population, I'm disabled. Non-disabled people might see our lives and experiences as tragic, flawed, even sad. But I don't know, guys. I've been disabled a pretty long time, and I think there's also room for disabled joy. Our disability community has as many members as it has opinions, which is why I've asked my friend Tylia here with me today to talk about disabled joy. Hi, Tylia. Thank you for joining me.
No problem, Nico. It's always a pleasure to sit down and talk to you about the disabled joys of life.
Thank you. You flatter me. Tylia, could you share a joyful memory with me? It could have to do with your disability or your disability journey, or it could be totally separate. Both paths are valid.
Well, when I finally accepted my disability at the age of 18, I finally came to terms that having cerebral palsy is a joy, and I started stomping on CP, and I started to really take a shift in focus in my writing into disability rights and disability advocacy and cerebral palsy awareness. So that's my joyous moment right there. And the fact that I get to impact the community and be the voice for those who can't speak up for themselves. Like a few years ago, when the 88 turned 30, I was a part of an event called the Expansion Event, and I read my poem, Why, and there was a young man who had a father with cerebral palsy that was 73, and he wrote in the chat box, "Thank you, Tylia, you just spoke the words for my father." And that to me was the best moment of my life.
That's really powerful. Thank you for doing that.
No problem.
How has your disability impacted and intersected with how you pursue your own joy or how you find happiness?
Well, my disability is the reason why I started to write and get into advocacy and connect with the world. And that's how I was able to find my passion. How it's intercepted is the medical system for people with disabilities that are adults is crappy. So you constantly have to navigate and you constantly have to fight. And sometimes you just get exhausted. You know, with the many specialists you go to one specialist, they don't specialize in that. You go to another specialist, they don't do that. And sometimes doctors just give us the false hope. Mm-hmm. Like right now, I'm looking for a surgeon that could do hip reconstructive surgery. And that's been my battle for the past couple years now. So that's where it intercepts.
Thank you, Tylia. I hear you saying that having to pay a disabled tax, so to speak, really impacts the energy and enthusiasm that we can bring to other aspects of our lives. I see you in that.
And then the struggle of inspirational porn. People expect us to be an inspiration, and we have to deal with the stigma of being a prime poster child for inspirational porn. And it's like, I'm not an inspiration because I'm navigating my life as a normal 28-year-old. I just use a wheelchair. What's the difference?
Sure. So let me ask you something here. I feel like inspiration porn really pushes us, disabled adults, disabled kids equally, to like always be really optimistic, really positive, really have a rosy outlook on life. And I often find for myself that if I allow myself to like express feelings of discontent, of worry, of trepidation, of frustration, then I feel like I'm being a bad disabled advocate or a bad disabled role model. Do you also encounter that?
Okay. Yes. It's the internal struggle.
Yeah.
Because you want to speak your raw truth, but yet you don't want to let the people that look up to you down. So it's always my internal struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why each year I update my autobiography with new experiences to share. And I'm excited to share with you that my brand new autobiography, Cerebral Palsy, Still a Beauty to be Discovered, comes out October 6th.
October 6th, look at that.
And this is the cover for it.
Oh, that's your, okay, fantastic. Tylia's background image is of Tylia on a bench, on a
lake.
On a wooden bridge overseeing a lake. It's really nice.
So
thank you.
I'm excited for you guys to get a glimpse of that and see where I've been and where I've gone, what I've gone through in the past year. Really excited.
Absolutely. Thank you for mentioning.
Not a problem.
Tylia, what one thing do you want the rest of the world to know about disabled life and disabled quality of life?
I want people to know that disabled life isn't a tragedy. What makes it a tragedy is people that assume it's a tragedy.
That's very succinct. Thank you. And I'm inclined to agree with you.
To know. I'm sorry, but that's what I would want people to know. And I want people to know that disability is not a bad word. It's not a dirty word. So say you're disabled, you're proud of it. Don't use the old alternatives like I have abilities within my disability. No, you're just disabled, but you rock it.
I can respect that a lot. Thank you so much. Tylia, my last planned question is one that I ask all my interviewees regardless of project. Is there a recent win that you're celebrating that you haven't yet named that you would like to mention so that we can celebrate along with you? Or if not, what cool projects are you involved in? What have you got in the pipeline?
Well, my recent project that I did recently, I was in a documentary for Scene TV.
Okay.
Where I talk about navigating through relationships and intimacy. And then my other recent win is that I'm developing an animated series.
Oh, tell me about that.
It's called The Adventures of Stomping on CP, and it follows the story of 4 children with cerebral palsy, Gus, Noah, Bella, and their service dog Hobbs. And it's like a show targeted towards preschoolers to learn about the different types of CP. I've been working on it with my longtime illustrator, Chuck Colleran, for about 3 years now. We started in COVID, and right now we're in the middle of trying to do the storyboards and pitch the series. I've also published a tween series called the Not So Typical series, which follows a young boy by the name of Austin Keeler who has cerebral palsy and discovers his passion for writing through his life. And it's a 5-part series. I'm working on a new romance novel called A Special Kind of Road Trip about a young girl with cerebral palsy in her 20s. She's just going through a breakup, and then she goes on Facebook dating and she meets this guy, and they go on a road trip together and they fall in love.
Aw, that's sweet. As a fan of romance novels, I would love to read that.
Yeah, it should be out. It should be out in February, and So right now in my personal life, I'm just entering a new stage in my life. Like I'm putting myself out there. I just went on my first real life date with somebody that I met.
Congratulations.
So I'm really excited to see where that's going, and I talk more about that in this new book. I talk more about that. So be on the lookout for that. But life's good. And my radio show's doing fantastic on Asheville FM, the Stomping on CP radio show, also available on Spotify. We are going into our 5th year of doing the show. And I have some pretty unique topics for the show coming out. So continue to listen as well.
All right. Fantastic. Tylia, thank you so much. I appreciate getting the chance to check in with you, and I love hearing about what you're doing. Thank you again.
No problem. Thank you.
Audience, tune in next time, and remember, I'm rooting for you.